Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Elise and I'm really glad that you decided to click on this video today. I have been on YouTube for about 3 years and specifically on this channel about 2.5 years. So I realized that I really have never done a Q&A for this channel aside from a few little spontaneous ones during my 2 live feeds. So I figured that it was high time that I did a Q&A for you guys. On my Instagram, I asked you guys to send me a ton of your questions. I got quite a few responses, so I am going to answer some of those questions today. This is definitely kind of a little bit of a plug, but I am the most active on YouTube and Instagram. So if you're interested in seeing what's going on in my life outside of YouTube, then Instagram is the place to do that. I post a lot of like polls and questions and things like that on my Insta story. Again, go check that out. I am going to start answering some of your questions now. By the way, this is the 4th time I am attempting to film this. Let's hope that this actually works. Nothing is gonna stop me this time. Oh yeah, it's thundering and probably about to rain, so just a fair warning. Nothing is getting in the way of this Q&A. How long have you been studying Korean for, and what do you use to help learn the languages? Now, I've been getting this question a lot, so I think that eventually I'm going to make a completely separate video on all of the resources and how I am learning Korean. But I have been studying Korean very slowly and on and off since probably March. There have been a lot of things that got in the way of that. I definitely haven't been as rigorous as I should be, so I still only know the basics, but that's how long I've been studying it. As for some of the resources that I use the most are Talk to Me in Korean at Korean101.com and Lingo Dear. Will you ever do the DCP again? Did you like it and would you recommend it? So no, I will probably never do the DCP again. I am actually outside of the time frame for being able to apply for the DCP again and for summer alumni, so I literally can't, and I don't think I'll be going back to school again for any reason. I did enjoy my DCP. I'm so glad that I did it. There were definitely ups and downs. It's not always pixie dust and things like that, but I'm super glad that I did it and I do highly recommend it. But I also recommend being aware that it's not always magical. Who was a character you wish you had been in Disney? All of them. I really wanted to hang out with Merida because I loved her accent and her quirky attitude, and I just love redheads. I would have loved to hang out with Cindy and Snow. I got told that I look like them all the freaking time. All the trainers would be like, oh, who are you hanging out with? And I'm like, oh, I'm hanging out with Punzi. They're like, no way, I thought you were gonna be a Cindy. That would have been super fun. Ariel would have been super fun, and I actually expected Ariel because during my callbacks, they actually had me try her on and do all this stuff, but I think because this section had consumed a little too many tacos, they were like, nah. Those ladies would have been really fun. Also Joy. I really wanted to hang out with Joy and Helen from The Incredibles, but circumstances and being a CP just didn't really allow me to do so. How do you always look so cute and put together? Well, thank you. I do not. I live out in the middle of nowhere in the country. I'm not seeing that many people, so most of the time my hair is a mess. I don't have any makeup on. I'm just wearing t-shirts and shorts. Only about 15% of the time do I look cute and put together, and that's usually centered around a video. How did you get your first 1,000 subscribers? Honestly, I have no clue. I started my YouTube channel on the basis of having those memories for myself and maybe sharing information with people who hadn't had that information. So I think for me it was just uploading consistently, having a somewhat bubbly personality, and yeah, I think consistency is a really big thing. You also asked, why did I start my YouTube? I actually started my first YouTube channel as like a main channel kind of thing. I wanted to be the beauty guru, I wanted to do all the DIYs, and I wanted to get free stuff sent to me, yada yada yada. Well, turns out that's not really my thing. I'm definitely more of a vlogger. So that's when I created Elsa and Elise for my Disney adventures, which then turned into Elise Ever After. I just really wanted to capture all of my Disney moments since I'd never been before. I loved creating videos, but again, the sit-down videos weren't really my thing. Yeah, and I found my passion through vlogging at Disney World. Austin Jackson 1994 asked, what are you most passionate about? Well, hi, hope you're doing well. Hope New York and your accounting is not killing you yet. I would like to see you before I leave for South Korea. I think 2 of the things that I'm most passionate about are being a positive and good influence on people surrounding me and hopefully uplifting them, and also creating things on several different levels, anywhere from like baking something to crafting something from scratch with my hands, to gardening, to just editing and creating videos and taking pictures and stuff like that. Just creating, right? Oh. Hey Bob, what's up? Okay, I'm done with that call. Thanks for the question, Austin. You have a beautiful voice, Elise. Thank you. Is musical theater something you aspire to do? I was actually in theater when I was younger, and I was in choir for 9 years of my life. I would love to be on stage and perform and sing for people. That's something I've always enjoyed, so I would love to, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be in the cards for me, at least not for a while. What made you want to do the DCP, and how did you become interested in being a performer? Well, I really wanted to do the DCP because I had never been to Disney World, and I thought that that would be a wonderful opportunity to go and live there and just be in the Disney bubble and explore it and everything. There are also 2 other reasons. One, I just really wanted to get away. I have been surrounded by comfort and have been in my box most of my life, and there is nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong, but getting out of your bubble and going out there is something I really wanted to do, and to push myself and to see what I could handle. Also, I was at a really tough point in my college career. I was not enjoying myself. I was considering taking a semester off of college. Well, when the Disney College program popped into my repertoire, I thought that would be the perfect opportunity to take a semester off while accomplishing my dream of going and working for Disney. As for being a performer, I mean, who the heck doesn't want to be a Disney princess? Okay, maybe there are some of you who don't want to be, but I always wanted to be a Disney princess. I love acting and performing, so I was like, why the heck not? Let's just try it and see, and it made my experience 10 times better. Have you gotten any offers in South Korea? Would you consider any other countries? I have not gotten any offers in South Korea because applications just opened for those who are going through recruiters, like literally yesterday. So my application just got sent in. It's a very long process for South Korea. I probably won't know if I have an offering or not until like November or December, so I still have a lot of time left. As for other countries, absolutely. I have the travel bug right now. I have wanderlust like crazy. I want to go to Spain, Italy. I want to go all across Europe. I would love to go to Japan, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, and I think I would love to teach anywhere in those places as well. What do you usually look for in people in general for them to be part of your circle? Well, I do not like the term circle. To me, circle reminds me of those cliquey groups that were in high school, of the popular people who weren't very inclusive. Don't get me wrong, because I did know some incredibly sweet, kind-hearted, popular people who I was friends with, but I just don't like that term. So for me, when I'm looking for friends to surround myself with, I'm looking for kind, thoughtful, respectful, and open-minded people. Basically, that's it. I don't care if we don't have the same views on everything or we don't have the same interests in everything. If you're open-minded and kind and respectful, then you're a person I want to be around. Did working behind the scenes at Disney ruin the magic? To an extent, absolutely. I don't mean like the tunnels or anything like that. That didn't bother me. It was more the management and how the employees were treated. So now I see a CM just have this face of like pure joy and happiness, but I know that behind the scenes that's likely not the case, because they've probably been working 12-hour shifts for 4 days in a row now, and they didn't get the weekend off to go to their cousin's wedding because Disney needs them there, this, that, and the other. So to an extent, absolutely. What hair makeup tips do you have for the Florida humidity? For Florida, I recommend letting your skin breathe as much as possible. Wash your face morning and night no matter what. You want to get all of that off. I recommend those little mists to refreshen your face throughout the day. I also recommend using gel lotions. It absorbs and it's much lighter and it makes you less oily. I use this one, Dr. Jart, but it's just like a gel consistency and it just absorbs really well and really quickly, and it's amazing. So just a gel moisturizer, kind of like that. And just kind of avoiding as much makeup as possible, going as bare as possible. If you do have to wear makeup, make sure it has sunscreen in it. That way it's protecting your face. For hair, I use this John Frieda detangler. It kind of cools down the frizzing, as well as this frizzies. After you shower and your hair air dries a little bit, put this in. This stuff is freaking amazing. I wore my hair up a lot, girl, and I cut it real short whenever I went for that specific reason. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Would you consider working at an international Disney park? I actually really wanted to work at Tokyo Disney, and last year I had flights to go and audition, but Hurricane Irma came and completely destroyed those plans. And they only happen once a year, the auditions. So I was like, that's not meant to be. I don't think that I will be working for Disney at all anymore, if I'm completely honest. I think my time with them has come to a close. In 5 years, I hopefully see myself back in the States, probably settling down a little bit. I mean, still going off and adventuring, and hopefully my YouTube channel will have grown a lot more, and maybe I can live off that income a little bit more. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, so hopefully I'll have some sort of business venture that's my own as well. Obviously, I would love to find a man and marry him, but we'll see if that actually happens. What will be the hardest thing to leave behind when you move to Korea? All of the material things I'm not gonna miss. I can find a ton of material things if I want in Korea, but my family and those really supportive friends I am going to miss so much. And probably some of the kiddos that I watch. They have grown on me. What is your favorite food at Walt Disney World? They got rid of it, Kyle, and I am so furious with Disney for this, but it was the brisket mac and cheese at Friar's Nook. That was the most amazing thing that Disney had, and they got rid of it. That was a sad day. That was a really sad day. What was your first job? My first job was working at HEB as a bagger. I was 16 years old and I did it during the summer. Did I enjoy it? To an extent, but they worked you a lot. I asked for 20 hours a week, which they were like, yeah, sure. And I ended up working over 40 hours a week by the end of the summer, so it was kind of rough, that being my first job. Any skincare tip? That would need a whole entire separate video. I'm so sorry, but I do recommend washing your face in the morning and at night. Take off all of your makeup, all of it. Do not be lazy. I have been loving micellar water. I'll do micellar water and then I'll do another cleanser at night. They call it the double cleanse. And then just a moisturizer that works for you. Don't be afraid to test it out. And then face masks. If you really want me to, I can do a whole separate video. Please let me know if you'd be interested in that. Are there going to be more traveling vlogs? Absolutely. I'm going to freaking San Francisco on the 10th to just have fun and explore and go to the BTS concert. So freaking stoked. And then I'm going to Dallas for the BTS concert again. And then I'm going to South Carolina all in the time frame of September. Hopefully there will also be maybe a New York trip. I'm trying to plan it, and maybe some South Padre. So yes, more traveling vlogs. Look forward to it. What was the highlight of your college experience? I think the highlight for me was either the Disney College program and the organization that I was involved in called SLAM, Sophomores Leading and Motivating. Although not everyone I thought that I was going to be close to ended up staying close with me in our friendships, I met a lot of really cool people and learned a lot about myself through that organization. What is your biggest dream in life? I think my biggest dream in life would be to be a full-time YouTuber and vlogger and have my own big business venture that could sustain and support me and have enough money and enough savings to go and travel and have adventures and to also donate back to society. That's my biggest dream. Someone asked, are you planning on going to Disney again? I do plan on going to Disney again to visit as a guest. My next Disney venture will probably be in 2019 at Tokyo Disney. If you could redo the DCP again, what would you do differently? There was some tension with my roommates and a situation that I could have handled a little bit better, and it didn't work out. I totally admit to making a mistake, and I did try and fix the situation and apologize and all of that. I wasn't as thoughtful as I should have been. Things got a little out of hand even though I apologized, and I don't think she was ready to forgive me, which I understand. Basically, in retrospect, I would just completely avoid that situation. I don't know. That was a tough situation. Okay, only a few more questions left. Robert asks, hi, I love your channels and wondering if we can be best friends. Yes, Robert, we can be best friends. Someone asked, why are you so pretty? Thank you. You're pretty. What advice would you give someone who's going to apply to the Disney College program? I would say to use really strong descriptive words in your resume. If you're interested in learning more about my Disney College program, I do have a playlist right here where I talk about a ton of stuff. It's more fresh on my mind, so I remember it better. What is the toughest part of being a face character, such as struggles with acne, bad makeup days, etc.? The biggest struggle with being a face character is whenever you have really down days or whenever you're sick. For me, I think there was twice where I called out because I was just having a really horribly incapacitating mental day. And the characters that I help portray are very bubbly, very excitable characters. And I just did not have the mental capacity to portray those characters that day. And then I also got sick a few times, so I had to call out 2 or 3 times because my voice was so raw and so hoarse that there was no way that I could hang out with Rapunzel today and talk about, oh, how cute Eugene is, and have you been to the Snuggly Duckling today? Or Anna, who's just kind of talking like this and, you know, this and that. So those were the biggest struggles. Acne wasn't ever really an issue with me, thank goodness, but I could see that being a struggle for some of the girls. My cousin Cassandra asked, who is your favorite cousin? You are a troublemaker. So the last question that I saved until the end, I actually really liked this question and it takes a little bit longer to talk about. Someone asked, how do you stay so positive, especially in today's world and such? Well, first off, I want to point out that I have down days too. Negativity does get to me, and I do have a specific way of handling that I do think helps me a lot, helps me to snap back into my positivity really quickly. Like this morning, I had a really down day. I was not having a great one, and if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw that. So what I normally do whenever I'm having a down day is I will kind of distance myself from people. I'll just be like, hey, I'm not having the best day, or I'm kind of in a weird mood, so I'm just gonna kind of like do my own thing. Like, don't take it the wrong way. I just don't want it to affect you. Sometimes people will reach out to me and be like, hey, if you need to vent, let me know. I don't like venting unless they're like offering it. So that's what I do. If they offer, I will vent to them only once. And then I try and acknowledge those emotions, those negative feelings, and then I will try to release them. I acknowledge them and then I just let them go, and I try to think about good things that have been happening lately, or something that I'm really excited about, or something that I'm really happy about. Basically what I'm talking about is the law of attraction, and I think it has been really changing my life. What you think about is what you attract. So the more positive you are, the more positivity that you attract into your life. The more negative you are, the more negativity that you attract into your life. So that's why I try not to dwell on those negative moments. As for the actual positivity, I just like to see the happy and joyous things in life. There's so many negative things in the world, so I try and distance myself from them. I don't watch the news at all anymore, and some people may say that I'm really ignorant for doing so, but it just brings so much anxiety and stress into my life that is unnecessary in my opinion, so I completely avoid that. I just like to look at the happy things in life if I can. It makes me happy. Yeah. I hope that answers your question. I really hope that this answers all of your questions really well. Thank you so much to everyone who sent in questions. I really truly appreciate you taking your time out of your day to ask me a question for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Give this video a thumbs up if you do. Okay, this video is really long now. I will see you guys in my next video. And yeah, okay. Bye everyone.